Stephanie and I talk a lot on our podcast about raising adult children. Now, no, we're not raising them. They're not in our home, but we know what we're talking about as far as just having those relationships with adult children and how hard they can be to navigate. And Kirk Corbridge on our podcast this week, he's our guest. He talked a little bit about that, and I just wanted to relate a story that I had with my own child. This was a few years ago, and they just got married, and all of a sudden things just weren't happening as far as relationship wise, and it was very difficult. And it actually, you know um, there was no communication for like 8 months, and that was so hard. And I remember one time just praying. I was doing, I don't know if I was doing laundry, but anyway, it was by the washer and dryer, and I just remember stopping and praying and saying, Heavenly Father, how do I navigate this? And he kind of gave me this visual. What came to my mind was he just had his hand cupped like this, and I heard his words say, He is in the palm of my hands. And I got to learn at that point to lean into Heavenly Father and trust that He is taking care of him. And in the meantime, I just get to love him from a distance and allow him to do that. And we all, let them. We hear a lot about the let them theory with the Mel Robbins let them theory, and just allow them to have their space to do what they need to do, and trust that Heavenly Father has them in the palm of His hands, and that we can go forward with faith and trust that Heavenly Father knows what He's doing. We get to learn over and over and over again about how to have this relationship with our children, and also relationship with our Heavenly Father, this covenant relationship where we get to turn to Him again and again and again, learn to trust Him, believe Him, because His way of parenting is probably a lot different than mine, maybe a little bit different than yours, but it's the better way. Join us on anchoredpodcast.net and hear how our guests are learning how to do this their way.